Well, Jamie and I are back from KetoPaLouZa. Hi everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with Me. Before you hear from Jamie, let's review his week 22 goals. So he's had pretty much the same goals for, gosh, I want to say a couple of months right now. So that's 20 carbs or less. He has to be eating, basically, shooting for a 1 meal a day type of fasting. He needs to be targeting, 75% fat or higher on his macros, 5% carbs and then 20% protein. And then in addition to that, he should be trying to target the, clean style of keto, which we like to call here keto. All right, let's hear from Jamie, folks.
Hey everybody, Jamie here. Just want to give a quick update. Had a decent week last week. Ketones and glucose are both trending in the right direction, so that's moving in the right direction. I attended KetoPaLouZa with Chris this weekend. We went down to Louisville and had a really good time. Got the opportunity to have our pictures taken with Dr. Boz and Dr. Barry. Like I said, all in all, it was really good, very informative. One of the big key takeaways I got is I've been putting a little too much emphasis on the numbers I get off the scale as opposed to the numbers I get from my daily readings, and I need to take a step back and realize that the scale will drop, but most important it is how I feel and how my day by day goes by. So I think I'm going to take that advice and continue on this journey until I reach my goal. So that's all for now. We'll give you another update next week.
All right. As you heard from Jamie, he realized, or actually we both did, that we shouldn't fixate just on the weight number, that there's so much more to that, to this journey and to what we're learning than just what's on the scale. So speaking of the numbers, let's take time to review his numbers, because we know, good or bad, they tell us exactly what's going on. All right, so let's start with his weight. He's up a pound, and he just said, just like we both found out, like, don't fixate on, what shows up on the scale. You need to take a look at the whole picture. Also, there are going to be weeks that you're not going to lose. Again, not the scale, but how do you feel? How do you, are you making progress over the long term? And that's what we're seeing week after week. So let me take a look at some of the rest of the stuff here. He's down 64 pounds in 22 weeks. So if you want to look at the long term, that is a fantastic, that's fantastic progress is really what I'm trying to say. Now, his average blood glucose for week 22 was 103. So you've heard me a few times over the last few weeks talk about, or maybe even longer than that, man, what's up with your blood glucose meter, Jamie? Is it your meter? What's going on? So while him and I were, together for those 3 days, let's see, Friday night, Saturday, we did, do our blood glucose numbers together. So I had him try my meter, I had him try his meter. They were within what I would call, his ketones were like almost exactly like mine. Now the blood glucose, they were 5 and 7 of each other, so arguably that was good. But you know what? His blood glucose numbers on his even showed in the 90s 3 times this week, folks. 2 I saw with my own eyes. Now, we did switch the order a little bit. I told him, take it before you take your shower. You want to get up, get this thing done, and then start getting your body stirring. So did that make a difference? I don't know. But either way, his numbers for this week look really good on his ketones as well as his blood glucose. So 103 is at that low end. He has an average ketones of 1.1. Don't know what I was doing with my hand there, but 1.1, so they're coming up. I've already seen next week, but I don't want to jinx it. Looking really good. He has an average Dr. Boz ratio of 120. That's a huge improvement from last week's. I think it was like in the 240s, maybe even close to 300. He had average carbs of 14 for the days he ate, and that was just absolutely fantastic. Nice job on that, Jamie. His fat macro percent, so he's been working really diligently to stay above the 75% fat. He is actually at 83% fat, 2% carbs, and 15% on his protein. Now, you watched the last few videos, my math wasn't so good. You know, those numbers didn't add, this time they added up. So I'm really tickled that it actually hit 100. So he had, you know, he did solid OMAD fasting. He did have part of a 72 in there at the beginning of the week. And then when we were down there, he finished a 48. When him and I, this is going to sound the most amazing thing you've ever heard of, but we went to I wouldn't call it a Brazilian steakhouse. It's just a Brazilian restaurant, but they just kept bringing us like tons and tons of meat. And I told Jamie, I said, you know what? Don't try. You need a day where you kind of just like, you know, not kill it with the carbs, but you need a day where you kind of just go up. And if you eat too much protein, you're going to end up shooting your insulin up anyway. So lo and behold, wait till you hear next week's numbers. This feeding frenzy that, you know, Jamie, I would say I did too, but I don't think I went as far as he did. I think he was like, you know, representing our team on this side of the table. And then there was, you know, another guy named Carl on the other side of the table. Carl, his wife admittedly says has a hollow leg. So, you know, Carl, you happen to see this video at some point, kudos to you, because you made, you know, good sized, tall Jamie, you know, look like a little tiny guy, you know, with how much food you put away. So it was absolutely probably one of the most delicious experiences I've ever had. And it was keto, probably more carnivore than keto. And we thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait. There's supposed to be one here in our area, so we'll probably go to it one time. So switching to one last comment on his numbers, you know, he did eat a clean style of keto. That was really good. And then that's it for his numbers, folks. As you heard from Jamie, you know, his big key takeaway is don't fixate on the scale. There was probably, you know, out of the all the speakers on Saturday, those were the, you know, that was the big, you know, discussion day, or the big day. They were all presenting. Dr. Boz, Dr. Berry, Dr. Lowry, Dr. Hampton, you know, and a couple other, two crazy ketos, and I want to say it's Kim Howerton that was the third. I should have the little card here that has their name. I don't know where I put it, but you know, basically all the speakers and so forth, every one of them said, you know, don't fixate on that. You know, don't fixate on that number. You know, don't let that be your driving force. That there's so much more. They were, you know, talking about how sleep is important to us. You know, they were talking about, I can't even remember all of it. So I don't want to turn this into a, you know, KetoPaLouZa reflection video. I'm actually going to make a separate video where I talk about a lot of the things and how it's affected me, and you know, even some of the things that Jamie told me afterwards and kind of what's going to come out of that. So look for that. That's going to be a video that I have out very, very shortly. It's going to come with a channel update. It's going to come with also some struggles from me, which again, this video is not mine, so I don't want to get into that. But I just want to tell you that KetoPaLouZa, if you ever have an opportunity to go to, it's absolutely probably the best. It is the best from all the people that were down there, the best keto conference you could go to. You go to KetoCon, it's so big that you're just a person there. You go to KetoPaLouZa, you literally can go up, and I'm not exaggerating, to any person. I don't care who it is, Dr. Boz, you know, Dr. Berry, any of the speakers, any of the vendors, every one of them will talk your ear off. So, but I do want to just kind of like, you know, say that, you know, here's some pictures, you know, here's Jamie with Dr. Boz. I don't know where, I got a new editor a while ago. Corbin, wherever you put the picture of Dr. Boz and Jamie, boom. There's a picture of me of Dr. Boz, you know, with Dr. Boz. There's a picture of, there is no picture of Jamie with Dr. Berry. I thought for some reason, but I think we ran out of time and he didn't go back up. So sorry there's no picture, but here's a picture of me with Dr. Berry. Man, look at this dude. He is like stacked. I mean, like he's got, you can tell this guy's exercising. So, all right. So Jamie, you're headed in the right direction. You're doing everything right. And I know you cannot wait for week 23 to share where you're at. I know it's going to be a wonderful week. Speaking of week 23, sorry I yelled at you guys there, but speaking of week 23, what are your goals for week 23, Jamie? Your goals are the same goals that we've had all along but you adjust them as you need them, just like you've always had control over this. I'm just your, the guy that helps guide you and can, bounce things off and so forth. All right, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching today's video. Please take time to like and subscribe so you can keto with me, but more importantly, so you can get, continued updates on Jamie's progress, which you will definitely want to see next week. Also, if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to leave them down below. Just remember, nobody's perfect. Be a coach, not a critic. And take care, folks.